Hi guys, so lately I've been getting a few questions on the topic of wigs and where I get my wigs, what quality you should be kind of looking for, what you should be trying to look at to spend price wise, and I figured I would try to answer those now so that I don't have to keep writing out messages over and over again, typing them out, so it's a lot easier to just make a video about it. So namely, I keep getting questions about buying wigs online and how to find reputable sellers to find your quality wigs. With wigs online, you can kind of tell when you're looking at an unreputable seller. The things that you should be looking for is namely photo quality, the kind of photos that they show, and whether they have proof photos of the actual wig that they're trying to sell. Now, some sellers will have photos of wigs on the models, but they won't have it on a mannequin or like a photo of it lying out. That's a huge red flag, that if you just have a model photo for a wig, it could be an indicator that they're not selling a wig that looks as good as they think it should. And sometimes if they're selling lace fronts, they'll just have someone with their natural hair and advertises the lace front. Another thing that you should look for is a review. If a seller has bad reviews, it's pretty high-flying red flag that they're not a reputable seller at all. Now, the reason that they have bad reviews is because people don't know what to look for when buying a good quality wig. On eBay, there are really good wig sellers that sell good quality full lace and lace front wigs. However, some people are just looking for cosplay wigs, and you can get those for about $10 to $15. The quality is a lot better than they would let on, and it's totally good for like buying a cheap wig so that if you mess it up while you're styling it for your cosplay, it's no big deal at all. It's only about a $15 loss. Now, with that being said, cosplay wigs are really good for special occasions, and they're really good for just trying to mix it up and have some fun with your hair, but they're not really the wigs that you should be looking at for wearing for like everyday fashion. Everyday fashion wigs are they get pretty pricey. If you want a synthetic lace front, you're looking at about $100 to $110 for one of those. The quality of the fibers is what's important, not exactly what fiber it is. You could have a full human hair wig, and you could also have a synthetic wig, and they would be on par looks-wise, like they would look pretty much the same. The difference is the lasting quality of the wig, if that makes sense. So if you pay for a full lace human hair wig, you're going to be looking at about $350 to $400. However, those are some bomb-ass wigs. So no one will be pretty much able to tell that you're even wearing a wig if you get a good quality one. With that being said, if people ask you, take it more as a compliment, like, oh, is your hair real? I try to take it as a compliment, like, oh, okay, my hair looks real, well, that's great. But it's also a very intrusive question to ask, so don't feel obligated to even answer it. Normally what I'll do is if they ask me, oh, is your hair real? Does it look real? And I'll respond accordingly to however they answer, because no one is really entitled to your personal information. Another tricky thing with buying wigs online is you never know how to find a wig that, like, you won't know if it flatters your face shape until you get it, or if the color flatters your skin tone sometimes until you get it. With that, you pretty much need to know what flatters the shape of your face. As for myself, I have a pretty strong jaw, so I can't wear wigs that have bangs in them. I don't think it looks right. If I had a rounder face, then I would go with a wig with bangs. But if you still want to go with a more cheap eBay wig, you can still do that. Just make sure that it has bangs on it, because if it's parted in the middle or parted on the side, it looks extremely fake. Unless you don't care if people like know that you're wearing a wig, or if it looks fake, then totally it's okay. Another thing you can do with those sorts of wigs is if you want to wear them for special like occasions, like a fashion meetup or something, put a black bandana around the front so that no one can see the front of the wig and know that you're wearing a wig. And it also looks pretty trendy too, so it's not really a bad way to cover it up. With another indicator with buying wigs online, I remember, is if the description isn't descriptive, if that makes sense. Normally a good description should have the length of the wig, the kind of fiber it has, and the construction of the cap, and sometimes the cap size depending on where you're shopping at. People like standard cap sizes run pretty medium to small sized, but they always have the band in the back that stretches, and if you have a good wig, you'll have like a comb as well. The difference between like the lace cap and the regular wig cap is pretty much, again, the quality, how natural it looks, etc. If you order a custom-made full lace wig, they'll measure, like you have to measure your head so that they can make the cap accordingly. And if you're wearing a lace front or a lace wig, you don't have to have tape or adhesive. Like, you don't, like, if you're wearing a unit for an extended period of time, then it might be a good idea, but you don't have to have one. Like, you don't have to have tape or glue. I put tape on my edges to keep the edges down, and that's pretty much it. So I think I covered everything. If I didn't, feel free to shoot me an ask on Tumblr or just a message on Facebook, and I'll try to clear it up as much as I can. But I hope that helped at least a little bit, so thank you guys.